Namaskar. Welcome to our channel Wisdom Coaching Center. As a part of series of lectures, today we will learn about biodiversity in the living world. As we had explanation in before lecture about living world. As you know that single cell organism evolved into many unicellular as well as multicellular organism, as there are now today millions of species of plants and animals. Existence of these millions of species of plants and animal in unit area is the biodiversity of that area. So biodiversity in the living world, in the sense, it means that millions of types of plants and animal that exist in the living world that has to be addressed, recognized. Otherwise we will not aware about their existence. So intelligent among all animals that we got chance to know about them as a part of our study. So we are lucky to know them. So taxonomy is the branch of biology which deals with the study of their identification, description, naming and classification. So let us know about biodiversity and how to know and recognize them as individual species under the heading of taxonomy. So biodiversity in the living world is the topic that what first point in 11th class first unit, existence of millions of types of species, existence of millions types of species of various organisms in an unit area is known as biodiversity of that area, is known as of that area. Now till today 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species are described. Till now 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species of different plants and animals are discovered and described. Discovered and described. What does described means? Their features are explained to know them. As we address us as an individual and we have our own address, so we are recognized in the world by our name, father name, surname, or where do we live, our district, place, our state, country. And the same way there is a hierarchy to how the classification of that plants or animals or organism according to their characteristics. So till now 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species are described, they are addressed, they are classified, and we are known about them. So what is that process then? How to know them, how to recognize them, how to name them? These are the parts that we are supposed to complete in this chapter. Now their existence with their feature has to be addressed, recognized and addressed. So taxonomy is the branch of biology. Taxonomy is the branch of biology. Taxonomy is the branch of biology to with the study of, which deals with the study of, which deals with the study of identification, classification, and naming of plants and animals, or all, even bacteria and viruses also. So 3 steps: identification, classification and naming. One after the other has to be studied to have complete description and knowing of living world. So first come how to name them. What is the naming? That Carolus Linnaeus, a scientist, Carolus Linnaeus has given a special system called binomial nomenclature system. Given a system called binomial nomenclature system to name them. What according to him, that every organism can named as two name system, as we have trinomial nomenclature system, that we have trinomial nomenclature system. For example, take example any name, Dansubhai, Mansubhai, Patel, or Ramesh, Ganesh, Patil. So there we have our name, our father name and surname. Here binomial nomenclature system, that genus name and species name. So consists of two name. First name is generic name or genus name, and second name that include as a part of naming is species name, species epithet, species name. For example, that name given to mango, Mangifera indica. Now, who decide this name? These names are decided by an institution, that is International Code for Nomenclature, biological nomenclature, botanical nomenclature. So, an institution which decide this name, institutions that decide this name are called International Code for Botanical Nomenclature and International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. That they have right to decide the name. Then they have set the rules to name this every organism which is being identified and described. So what are that rule? That rules are rules of biological nomenclatures are set. Rules of biological, that is called scientific naming nomenclature, are set, are as follows. One, that every name must consist of two names that are generic name and species name. This is first rule. Second rule, that generic name or genus name must start with capital letter, and species name must start with small letter. Now, word to be choose to name them, the language, Latin words must be chosen, words must be used from Latin language. This is decided that since this language is not used anywhere, so these words are not supposed to be changed, and therefore, and since this language is a dead language, So that words are not used. Therefore, words are chosen from Latin language. Now, then how to write them? If it is printed, if names are printed, then they must be printed in italic script, and if handwritten, then they must be underlined separately. See, these are the 4 rules are set by this International Code for Botanical Nomenclature and International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, which are widely used. They are used to name the organism. Now, since these organisms are named by this organization, that plants and animals are recognized by that common word. So there is no confusion if any discoveries happen related to that plants. Suppose, for example, that onion is called by a different name, as dungri, kanda. It should be known by common name by whole world, so that there will not be confusion in understanding if discovery made related to the specific plant or animal. It is named by Allium cepa. So Allium cepa is a scientific name given to the onion, and it is recognized by whole scientific world. Therefore, this is to avoid the confusion. Otherwise, there are many names, or plants or animal can be called by very different names, and that we do not understand if someone has different language and word use. So how recognition and easy to know about that species, that name should be common, and therefore this naming system came into existence. And first one who suggested the binomial nomenclature system is Carolus Linnaeus, and that is being followed by whole world. At the same time, one who discovered and described that plants and animal, that's name of the scientist is written in abbreviated form as a prefix. So name of the scientist, one who describe is always written as a subscript in abbreviated form. So there is no place, so I can take it here, that name of the scientist is written in abbreviated form, or in abbreviation as subscript. So these are the rules are set to how the nomenclature. Now, as a part of biodiversity, that first part, how to name, what is binomial nomenclature system, what are the rules of binomial nomenclature systems, that you did understand. Now we shall continue in next video what is that identification and description as well as classification. So if any organism is supposed discovered, that organism must be described with this morphological feature to identify, and later on the basis of that features we can classify. That means we can place under a category of hierarchy. As suppose as we found any animals, we do study its characteristic, and on the basis of its feature we decide whether it is mammal, whether it is fish, whether it is amphibians, reptile, echinodermata, or so on, anyone. On the basis of that character we place them, that is called classification. So in next video we shall understand about that identification and classification in detail. I hope you did understand today's topic, that how to name them and what are the rules of naming of plants and animals, so that they can commonly known by whole world by common name. If you are in doubt, you can ask in comment section. I appeal you to join our channel by subscribing it, and by pressing bell icon you will be notified as and when new video will be uploaded. Thank you.